Your novel's first page is like the first 5 minutes of a blind date. Be honest. You can usually tell within the first 5 minutes whether there's going to be a second date, just like readers can tell by the end of the first page whether or not they're going to stick around for the second page. Sure, first impressions can be wrong, but if your reader puts the book down after 1 page, they'll never know. That's why in this video, I'm revealing my #1 thing that every first page must have to hook a reader and guarantee they'll keep reading. And it's coming up next. Hello writers, Jessica Brody here, author of Save the Cat Writes a Novel and the founder of the Writing Mastery Academy, where you can get access to all my online writing courses for less than the cost of a banana phone. No, seriously, it's a real thing. Look. So, first pages, they're pretty important. They can be the deciding factor of whether or not your reader keeps reading. After all, how many times have you picked up a book from the bookstore only to put it back down before you've reached page 2? I know I have. So what can we do to make sure our readers get to page 2? And hopefully page 3, 4, 5, and 200. Well, if you Google how to write a first page, like I did when I was researching this tip, there's a pretty general consensus about what a first page should do. Create tension. Introduce the character, establish a setting, show off your voice, all great advice. But there's something I couldn't find on any of these lists. Something that I personally think can make or break a first page, and something I always consciously work to make sure is included whenever I'm revising my first pages. And that is a question. In other words, what is the reader asking themselves by the end of the first page? Hooking a reader is all about creating intrigue, and intrigue literally means to arouse curiosity. Yes, I looked that up too. If your reader is asking questions, they're probably sticking around to find answers. These questions can really be anything. If you dropped your reader in the middle of some type of action or tense moment, the question might be, what happened right before this? If you're introducing a cagey character who seems unreliable, the question might be, what are they hiding? If you're showing your hero actively pursuing something they desperately want, the question might be, why do they want that so badly? All of these questions are essentially hooks. The question doesn't have to be spelled out on the page. In fact, it's probably better that it not be. It's something you're subtly suggesting through your narrator's thoughts, actions, dialogue, and voice. It's a gentle nudge to your reader. Psst, this is what you should be wondering about. And some novels even go so far as to conjure these kinds of questions within the first sentence or two. Like, it's a weirdly subtle conversation. I almost don't notice I'm being blackmailed. Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. Who is blackmailing Simon and why? Or how about this first line? At dusk they pour from the sky. From All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr, in a chapter called Leaflets. What do the leaflets say? What's so urgent that they're being dropped from the sky? Or how about this one? After a year of slavery in the salt mines of Endovier, Celaena Sardothien was accustomed to being escorted everywhere in shackles and at sword point. Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. Why is she in shackles? What are the salt mines of Endovier? Who is Celaena Sardothien? Is she dangerous? That's a lot of questions for one first sentence. And how about this one? Okay, don't panic. Every book in the Shopaholic series by Sophie Kinsella. What has Becky gotten herself into this time, is what we're asking ourselves. Of course, your question doesn't have to arise after only 1 or 2 sentences, but I do think it should be introduced within the first page if you want to give your reader a compelling reason to turn to the second page. But that doesn't mean the question has to be answered by the second page. It could not. Take a look at The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. The first page of that novel asks the question, why is the narrator locked up in a hotel room in Amsterdam? But it doesn't actually answer that question until nearly the end of the 700-page book. While in Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda, we have a pretty good idea of why Simon is being blackmailed by page 2. What's most important is not when you answer the question, but that there is a question to answer. So when you sit down to revise your first page, ask yourself what the reader might be asking themselves by the end of that page. Is that what you want them to be asking? Or is there a better question you can subtly weave through? The best writers are the best manipulators. They steer the reader exactly where they want them to go. They plant the perfect clues, mystery writer or not, to get their readers wondering. The best first pages aren't random. They're very, very purposeful. So nab that second date. Make sure your first page is leading your reader straight to the next page with a well-placed question. If you'd like more help revising your first page and all pages that come after it, check out my complete novel revision course, available to stream now on demand in the Writing Mastery Academy. In this course, I give you everything you need to know to complete your novel revision with ease, including essential reviser's tools like customizable digital storyboard templates that help keep you organized and on task, comprehensive checklists to make sure you're getting the most out of your time and catching all the problem areas in your story, and on-screen revision demos where I revise a novel right along with you. This course is like having me as your on-demand revision coach, holding your hand and guiding you through the entire process step by step, so that by the end of the course, you'll have a polished final draft of a novel that you can be proud of. A link to that course can be found in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you can catch my next writing video. Until next time, happy writing!